time to build paths in a gorgeous Japanese garden.
The 100 Torii.
Hey, welcome back to the Board Game Closet. My name's Jimmy.
I'm Rod.
And today we're doing a Kickstarter preview for the 100 Torii, which should be online right now. So go on and check it out.
All right.
Now this game, this is a prototype, right? So everything you see, go to the Kickstarter page, check it out. It's probably changed. But if this was it,
Oh, I think it's a finished product. I mean, you are so close. I'm not sure what they have to do to make it a finished product. I mean, I think it's there.
it's incredible. The artwork on this is gorgeous. Vincent Dutrait does an incredible job. Just the style, the look of everything, all of the pieces, the tokens are just incredible. It's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, I have to agree with you 100%. I mean, the artwork is fantastic. I don't see where you have to go beyond this.
No. So we're going to give you kind of an overview of the game and then give you our feedback on it. And then you go online to decide if this is a game that you want to back. And if this video helps you make that decision, then make sure you put that in the comments as well as any questions. Now, this is a quick to play game. Maybe 45 minutes. The box says 45 minutes, but in a two-player game...
May I ask me a lot faster than that?
Yeah, faster than that. This is a quick tile laying game. And so don't be confused by that statement. It's not too simple. This is not
Right.
like... I don't even know what to compare it to, but this is a simple to understand game. So what that means is you're going to get in and start playing very quickly. And on your turn, all that you get to do, you have special abilities that you could trigger. After you choose whether or not you're going to do that, you're simply going to choose one of the two tiles that you have in your hand, play it down on the board, score some tokens, and then move on. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Right.
But it's the fun comes in, obviously, in laying the tile and what you get off of that. So the basic idea is that you start the game with just one tile in the center of the table, and now you're going to try to build connections from the landmarks that are on your tile back to the center garden. And so you just, like I'm trying to connect this, I don't even know what that is, the water well, and you place that down, and I connect that back, I get one water well token. That's it. But every time you go through a gate, and the whole idea is you get these gates that lead you through this garden. Every time that you go through a red gate, you're going to get an additional token of that type.
Right.
But every time you go through a blue gate, you're going to get a different type. And so once you get 5 of a token, you're going to turn them in for a larger version of that token. So now I get the 5 points, and this is going to be worth victory points at the end of the game. If I got 5 more points, I'd flip it to the 10-point side. And so it's just that simple. Okay, I get 1, 2, 3 tokens. Okay, I've got 5. I turn them in. That's it. So once you get these tokens, at the beginning of your turn, you could trigger special abilities. So there are these special people in the game that you get to use. And they give you this great player aid that tells you, if you turn in one of these tokens, you get to do this first guy up here, which is the vendor. So maybe you don't like the tiles you got, change them out, get some more. But then they go up in cost all the way to the gardener, which the gardener allows you to place a tile on top of another tile.
Right.
So what's very unique in this game is once a path ends, there are multiple ways to end a path. Normally that would be it. That pile is over. You can't trigger all those wonderful gates again. You know, maybe you had a 4 or 5 combo set up and somebody ends that path. Oh, that's too bad. But if you spend these tokens, now you can use the gardener and place a tile on top, which is satisfyingly amazing.
It definitely is.
It's so cool how you can reopen a path and then start scoring points all over again.
Right. I mean, it's just like any other strategy game. The moment that you find something, you get that move, it is very satisfying to lay that down there and boom, score yourself a few more extra points.
You score all those points.
Exactly.
And then there are all different kinds of abilities. There's ways to block people or stop something from happening. There's even a way to play 2 tiles on one turn. And so what ends up happening is you start adding up all your stuff, and you're like, okay, I went through 4 red gates and 3 blue gates, so that means I get all of these tokens. Then I get to turn them in for these points. And then that means because I've gotten 1 of each type, now I get 1 of these. And so there's set collection that's happening as you play the game. But there's just something really cool about getting all those silly little tokens.
And the thing is, they do a good job where, in a sense, you're able to get a set of, let's just say it's what is this, the fountain? Or what do you call that?
I don't know, a tower or something?
A little statue that goes in the pond. So you get it, you get the 5 points. You turn, you go to 10, but you can't go any higher after that. Mm-hmm. So it's useless to be collecting those at that point. You're moving on to something else.
Right.
So it's not like you're just going to hoard one thing and win the game that way.
Right. Yeah, that's very true. And so you can kind of look around the board even and maybe see who's collecting what on your way. So there's kind of a race. There are enough of these in the game that everybody can have their own 5 and 10 point of each token type, but there's only so many of these where you get the full sets. So you almost have to kind of look and see if somebody's beating you to that. And then every time you use the abilities, now this is a really cool thing in the game, is in order to use the abilities, you have to give up tokens. Well, that sounds like a negative thing because tokens are how you score points here. So they also introduce a way for you to score points by using the abilities. So every time I use the geisha here, then I'm going to get 2 points. If I use her again, I get 4 points. If I use her again, I could be the first person to get the 3 points. So now I could get 7 points. And that kind of benefits you. Instead of just dumping these tokens and not getting anything for them, now you're scoring victory points.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so in one of our games, Rod didn't use any special abilities at all.
Right.
And I did. So he was hoarding all his tokens, trying to score points off of them, effectively. And I went with special abilities, and the points, we were within a point of each other on that game.
That's what makes a great game, when you use different strategies and they both could be successful.
Yes, that's awesome. And then the game has a solo version, which I will add is quite challenging. And so, but they do include extra pieces right from the beginning that if you want to play this game by yourself, they have that available. So there you go.
So if you like this type of game, go out there, sponsor it.
Yeah, there it is. It's on Kickstarter right now. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. We'd love to answer them. All right.
We'll see you guys later.
See ya.